Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 11th edition of Random Ramblings with Randomonium. I am always as your host, Randomonium, and today we're going to do some more tryout games. So, as you guys probably know, I am recruiting for our main team, and then also I'm starting up a second team that we're going to have for scrum partners, essentially, and also for, practicing for tournaments and whatnot. And yeah, every single person in this game, besides myself, of course, is going to be a tryout for one of these two teams. And we're going to hopefully learn from the things that they do well and the things that they do poorly. So, alright, let's go over our team. We've got Singe in the top lane and Rengar in the jungle. Annie will be our mid. Ashe will be our ADC, and I'll be playing support as Thresh. And we're going up against a Vladimir in top lane, and a Fizz in the jungle, Morgana at mid, Vayne as ADC, and Lulu as support. So going real quick over matchups. This Vladimir versus Singe matchup, this really sucks for Singe. There's not much he's going to be able to do. I mean, pretty much all of his farming is going to have to be under tower. So he's going to have to play very safe in this matchup. I don't like that he went for Doran's Ring first in this matchup, because he already knows it's going to be a rough matchup. He already knows he's going to have to take damage to get CS. So I would have recommended that he went with a Flask first in this matchup. That would allow him to trade a little bit better and not fall as far as much behind in CS. Then you can see with the rest of their team, they've got the Lulu and the Morgana, so that's going to be used to try and buff up Vayne, keep Vayne alive. And then Fizz is just around just to make life difficult for people, to hop to our back line and make it so that we can't really engage on Vayne as effectively as we would like. But we've got a pretty good team comp ourselves. The Thresh combined with Ashe is just a great engage tool. And then the follow-up with Annie. And then Rengar can also basically just pop people really easily. So I land a hook on Lulu, get a little bit of a trade-off. And then Singe is going to be our split push threat, especially with teleport. He just keeps split pushing, and if they respond and try to chase him, then that sucks for them. But yeah, pretty good team comps on both sides. So I land a very good hook on Lulu here, get the volley off, get some damage off on her. We blow our heal, both exhaust get blown. Alright, so that was a slight mistake, right? Because I'm fine, and when Ashe came forward, they immediately just engaged on her, and she had to actually burn her flash to get away. So I wasn't in danger of dying there, and there's no real need for Ashe to put herself back in danger again, because they're always going to go for her right away. But just a small mistake. You can see that Vayne's low, Ashe is low, so it's a pretty even trade. And both summoner spells blown. So you can see how well he does in the turret when he's pushing on his turret for CSing. He's doing a decent job. That was a little bit of a mistake for me. I took a lot of damage. But I get this, alright. So I land this hook right under tower. So my goal is to pull myself in and then flay Vayne back into the tower, because one tower shot plus an auto plus a volley from Ashe will kill Vayne. But Vayne tumbles right as I pull myself towards her, and I actually go with her. So I'm way far away from the tower now. And that's definitely something I didn't anticipate. Whenever you go up against a certain champion, you need to anticipate how their skills are going to interact with your skills, or you're going to wind up like me and giving up first blood. So yeah, Lulu spamming laugh, awesome. But yeah, minor mistake, just not anticipating what abilities, how your opponent's going to react with their abilities. Sure, Annie's doing a good job too. She's already got a slight CS lead, even though the lane's pushing against her. Alright, so Morgana lands her bind and she gets her AoE down. So this is going to cause a pretty huge amount of damage to Annie. So she's very low. She's playing pretty safe. She's not going too far away. You see, alright, so Fizz is going to come in here. He sees his low health Annie. He's at full health, thinks he can kill her. Playful Trickster's in. This is a perfect flash by Annie, because he's just going to dash and he should be able to kill her with that. Alright, so he comes in the turret range and this is a perfectly timed stun on Annie. Knight's ticking down. You see he does a ton of damage. Really, Fizz is going to die. There's no way that Fizz is going to escape because he's already used Playful Trickster, so the question is whether or not it's going to be a 1-for-1 or whether Annie's going to escape. And she's not able to, but she does get the kill back. So that tower dive didn't really help them either way, because you want those kills to go on to your mid laner and your ADC. Yeah, Annie's going to lose a little bit of farm, but it's going to be a net gold increase for her. And Morgana didn't get an assist out of it, so Annie's actually going to come out ahead. Yeah, Fizz is also going to come out a little bit more ahead, but it's more important that your mid laner and your ADC come out ahead in the early game, so they can snowball their lane. So I'm going to back up, because Rengar also ganked top lane here around the same time. So Rengar's back here. Both Vladimir and Singed are pretty low. But Vladimir can vamp that back up again, which is exactly what he's doing. So let's go to their cam. So yeah, they can't see Rengar here. So this is a fine coming through the lane to gank, as long as Singed can slow down Vladimir. So he lands his goo, gets the knock-up. So that was a minor mistake. So as soon as Singed got the knock-up, he should have just backed off towards this region, but instead he comes forward right into Vlad's pool and he ends up dying. So there's no way that he was going to help. Once he gets the Mega Adhesive Glue and then the Fling, there's nothing more he can do. It's all on Rengar to get the kill at that point, and he should just back off. So Rengar throws out his bola just as Vlad goes into his pool. And like what we were saying earlier, you have to anticipate how the other team is going to use their abilities to stop you. So you know that Vlad is going to use his pool pretty quickly. So you want to save that bola until after he uses the pool. So Rengar flashes. That flash a little bit too soon, I would think. You want to just save that just in case. He's got so he's got his 5 stacks of Frosty now. So if he lands an empowered Q, he could probably get the kill. But he misses with the bola. So the goal with Rengar is you need to be in these bushes. Like, you have to be in these bushes. That's how you're going to close this distance here. But you see that he's not going in the bushes. He's going right next to the bushes, but he's not going in the bushes. So that's definitely a mistake. So you can see, yeah, even though he lands another bola, Vlad's able to escape. So if Rengar came up and he had gone through these bushes, that would have been an easy kill. Like, just hands down, he would have just decimated Vlad. But because he didn't go into the bushes, he wasn't able to catch Vlad at all. So that's the lesson learned from that. Use your champion's abilities to the maximum effect. And Rengar's passive makes him horrible to deal with anytime there's bushes nearby. Lulu's continuing to spam laugh. So this is a common tactic by people to try and get you to engage on them, get you to do something stupid. They'll just spam laugh anytime you're around. So yeah, I land a hook here. I knew that we weren't going to be able to get a kill on it. I just wanted to. I kind of got baited by Lulu, her laughing. I just wanted to land the hook just to show her that I could land the hook. But I'm mainly just concerned with zoning Lulu off so she can't get any experience for this, while we can still get experience. I'm going to come up and ward. I have no idea where Fizz is. So anytime you're pushed up past your river, ward coverage is essential. And unfortunately, I only have the one ward right now. But you at least have to get one ward down. So you can see Fizz comes down to gank bot lane, but because we have that ward up, we're able to back off pretty easily, play safe. This is an excellent tactic by Annie. She pushed the lane up, and now she's going to roam. She's going to roam down. So Fizz is like, alright, I'm going to get a 2v3 on these people. And we've got Annie and Rengar rotating, so it's actually going to be a 4v3. So they've got a ward here. Annie comes right into view. They ping for retreat, but they're so far up that they're not able to stop it. This is actually kind of a misplay by Rengar to try and clear this Scuttle Crab. You don't need to clear that right now. Annie's coming in. He should be at Annie's hip the entire way here. So I land a good hook onto Lulu, and this is pretty much a free kill. Use Tibbers, yeah, easy stuff. Fizz comes in, but it's still a 2v3. And with Rengar coming down, it's now going to be a 4v2 for us. So Rengar does land a good bola here. Our ADC, she was attacking minions. That's just not the right play there, right? This is team fight. Team fight, team fight, team fight. Don't care about minions during the team fight. You can get minions after the team fight. So I flash get this flay back onto Fizz. And yeah, maybe not a good use for flash, but I want to get that kill. Vayne lands a great knockback to stun Rengar, and now he's in huge danger of dying. So I shield him. So we're able to get the kill on Fizz. But we see Morgana's coming down. So you can see Rengar's in danger. If that Q lands, Rengar's dead. So I move up and take the bind. So you want to always try to shield your allies from skill shots. If you have a high health and you can spare it, right? Especially as a support. But Morgana's still playing aggressive, and this is basically a 1v3 that she's walking into. Because Vayne can't really help her. So we'll take that any day of the week. Even though she starts her ult, I land my hook. And she's forced to flash over the wall to try and escape. So we burn her flash as well. So really the moral of that team fight is you don't want to engage when you don't have a numbers advantage, right? That entire time, at every point in that team fight, they did not have a numbers advantage. And we got a lot of kills off of that. And also it's going to allow us to put a lot of pressure on this tower. The Singe is continuing to bully, or sorry, Vladimir is continuing to bully Singed around. But that's kind of what we expected from that lane. I'm gonna try and get some more coverage up. I'm still worried about Fizz. Alright, so this is kind of an interesting play, right? Rengar pinks this bush. So when he came down for the gank last time, he had Raptor buff, and his Raptor buff procced right when he was coming through here. So he knows that they have a ward here somewhere. So what he does is he pinks this bush. So he knows that there's not a ward in this bush. So he knows that the ward has to be on this bush. So this is kind of interesting. Pinks it, then backs off. Makes it look like he's going towards mid. Yeah, they see him and they ping it. They ping that he's going mid. You can see that Morgana immediately kind of backs off a little bit. What he actually does is he comes around here. He kind of encounters Fizz, gets Fizz to back off a little bit, and then he makes it look like he's going back towards mid, and then he starts coming towards bot. And he's coming along this gank path that he knows is clear because he just pinked that bush. So this is a very good play. This is very clever. Actually, I'm going to try this in one of my games. I don't land my hook. Kind of, tried to thread the needle between minions, but that's fine. Ashe gets a good arrow off, and Rengar goes into ult mode. So the only reason why Vayne's still alive is because she healed there. Alright, so she tumbles. She's still invisible, but at this point, I would say if you don't land the bola right here, she escapes. So you might as well just try to throw out the bola and hope that you hit the invisible Vayne. But he holds it, gets in the turret range, takes some turret shots, and lands the bola on Lulu. So once Vayne gets to turret range, the fight's over. We can't continue. So you want to do everything you can to keep her out of turret range. Which, might as well go for that low percentage bola shot rather than not get anything out of it and take a ton of turret damage. So we push up the lane, and now we can back off and shop, and we're not going to be in danger of losing any CS. So our bot lane's doing well. We're pushing the lane, we're keeping them under tower. Vayne is still beating our ADC, so that's definitely a problem. And then our top tower is almost gone. Our Singe is getting bullied pretty badly, which is, like I said, to be expected. But at least our Annie is winning. Like, she's winning the lane pretty hard right now. So you can see that we had their lane pushed all the way down here, and we backed and then came back, and the lane's pushed to our side. So anytime you don't want to have the lane pushed, you can always back and get some gold, get some items, and you probably aren't going to lose that much CS unless they're really good at fast pushing the lane. So I'm trying to attack these caster minions, because typically a caster minion takes 1 turret shot and 2 auto attacks. So I'm trying to prep them for Ashe, so it makes it easier for her to get CS. See, she got a lot of that CS. So as a support, if you start getting experience with your ADC, you want to start trying to do that. Usually the melee minions take 2 tower shots and 1 auto attack, so you don't need to help them with those. But those caster minions, they take 2 auto attacks and 1 tower shot usually in the early game. So we continue to trade. Alright, let's look at this. Lulu comes up here to try and ward, and Vayne's just nowhere near where she needs to be to help her. So we recognize this pretty much immediately, and we're like, alright, Lulu, we gotta attack Lulu. So I come up, land my hook. This is a good play by Vayne. As soon as I land that hook on Lulu, Vayne realizes, ah crap, I'm out of position. So she tumbles forward to try and get an engage on Ashe at the very least. And Ashe should have been up here by me to prevent that. So if Ashe had been up here, there would have been nothing Vayne could have done, and we could have easily bursted down Lulu. But Vayne does a good job trying to recover and starts getting the trade onto Ashe. So that forces me to turn my attention back to Vayne. We land the ult onto Vayne, and I use my box to try and keep Lulu away. Right? I just want to slow Lulu down so that she can't help Vayne. So Vayne has to flash. So then we just go back to Lulu once, because they're both low health. Lulu has to flash. I use exhaust on Lulu just so we can get that slow off. And then I land another hook onto Vayne. Lulu burns her ult, which is the only way that Vayne stays alive. We've got our jungler rotating. He's been aware of this team fight. He rotated down pretty much immediately to assist us. He dives in. We're able to get 2 kills without anyone dying. We use our heal because we're both low health, and we see Morgana rotating down. So that's a good use of heal right there. This is good by our Rengar to land that empowered bola, so we get that snare. But Morgana knows that we're going to be trying to rotate up this way. So you just gotta be careful not to get hit with the Q like that, because that's pretty much an easy kill for her. But I come up, I land my hook again. It's gonna set us up for a pretty easy kill onto Morgana as well. So we wind up getting 3 kills for 1 death. I land all of my hooks, which I'm very happy about. And we get lane control over this bot lane. Yeah, they're pushing top lane pretty hard. But it's not horrible. I'd much rather prefer the Vladimir be ahead than the Vayne to be ahead. Very good ward by Singed here. He knows that Vlad's in the area. He's already got this area pinked, which is also very good. And he knows that Vlad wants to try and engage on him. He's behind in levels, he's behind in gold. He's not as strong as Vlad is. Alright, so let's go to their camera. Vlad's got clear vision of Rengar because he chooses this path. Choosing this path is definitely much better. Unless you feel like Singed is going to die, like that second, you want to take the longer route to ensure that there's no way that they can see you. On top of that, you've got this area pinked, so you know that he can't have a ward in this bush. So that's like a much safer gank path. But anyway, he does see us. We know he sees us. So how can we best get this engage? So the correct way that Rengar can engage onto Vladimir is he continues moving along this route. He's got mobility boots, so he's going to be faster than Vlad no matter what. And then he goes to this bush, and as Vlad is retreating, he just jumps onto Vlad from that bush. And then he can land his combination. But you can see here, what he does instead is he comes up and he uses his bola. That stops his boots mobility, so he no longer has a large mobility advantage. So that when he comes up here, he's not in position to actually leap on to Vladimir. So he's able to ghost and get away. So that was just definitely a misplay by Rengar. You just need to be aware of your gank paths and then use your passive. Your passive is so powerful as Rengar. You want to try and use that mobility advantage to get to that bush so that you can leap onto the Vladimir. But anyway, and he got a kill just a little bit ago, so let's take a look at that. So Fizz comes in, tries to help protect the tower. So if your goal is to protect the tower, you don't need to engage on somebody. If your goal is to kill them, you gotta make sure that you've got the advantage right now. Annie's got a 2-level advantage on Fizz, and she's got a full mana bar compared to Fizz being almost out of mana. So him being that aggressive, using his playful trickster to be aggressive forward, probably not a good idea. And yeah, that's the kill right there. So if he should have just come down, he could have just didn't even need to use abilities to come down. Just come down, force Annie off. If Annie tries to engage, then you playful trickster away. That would have been the correct play for Fizz. Alright, so in bot lane, they're continuing to push it. They've got a ward down, so they feel relatively safe. So I see they're looking to be aggressive. They're trying to engage on me, Vayne's auto-attacking me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to set up to launch Ashe forward into this fight. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to use my lantern way up here. I'm going to come down to the max range of the lantern. Draw her forward. And then we TP in by Singed. Land the arrow. Ugh! That pains me right there. Get a minion blocked. And don't land my hook on the Vayne. But Singe pops his ult, gets his glue, gets the flip. Vayne's in a horrible position now. Burns her heal. Uses her ult to go invisible and tumbles back. We know that she goes back that way. I kind of guessed wrong with my hook. I thought she was going to try and wrap around that way. And then I flash forward. So my goal is to flash forward and get the flay. But in order to get that flay, I actually need to have vision of this bush, which I don't. So I kind of do a blind flay and miss. Rengar's coming down and he's got eyes on Vayne. He wants to kill Vayne, but Fizz is turning on him, trying to peel for Vayne. And he takes a ton of damage, right? So Fizz engages in. It's a 1v4. I don't know why he's trying to engage in. At most he's going to get 1 kill, but he's going to die as well. So yeah, he gets a kill, but he dies right afterwards. So we just trade that kill back. So we traded a low health ally for a full health enemy, which is always a very good advantage. Because now they only have 2 low health people left, and we can just push this tower pretty hard. So at this point, this tower is going down. There's no way they're going to stop this tower going down, so they should be backing off, right? They're not going to save this tower. You can see that Singe is coming in. He's going to try and be aggressive as his tower gets low. 2, I'm zoning out Lulu. Waiting for the tower to fall. Right before the tower falls, I pop my box. That actually was a little bit early, and I take some tower damage there. And I actually did not mean to get that kill, but my box does do damage. But I'm able to escape just barely. 19 health. And that's pretty much the end of that engage, right? So, get a 2 for 1, get a tower out of it. We don't give up a tower on our own, so pretty good trade for us. If we had done that a little bit better, if we had executed that a little bit better, we probably could have taken Dragon. But overall, it was a pretty good team fight. This is good by Vlad. He's getting wards up, right? Because he knows that he's going to be pushing this lane. And he's very gankable. So Vlad he just put down those wards, right? But he doesn't have all the gank paths covered. So this ward is definitely crucial. This ward, yeah, it helps you for people who are coming out of the base, but it doesn't help with rotations as much. So you might want to actually put that ward like here or here, something like that. He's not going to spot every gank path. So you can see that Annie's going to come up here and try to gank in. This is a very good roam by Annie as well. So Singe goes aggressive. This is good. It looks like he's just running away. Oh no, I made a poor decision. I'm so screwed. And then Annie comes in and just kills him. And this is good, because remember earlier, Singe tried to engage again when Rengar ganked, and he died because of it. This time he just runs away, and that's exactly what you want to do. Annie can 1v1 a Vlad, who's got no health. Same with Rengar. So good play by everybody. Meanwhile, we're down here on Dragon's side. And, alright, this is a poor call, right? They've got this warded. We're not sweeping it. Annie's top. She can't assist us. We don't know where the rest of their team is. Yes, we've got 2 wards here and here, but you need to clear at vision, and you need to make sure that you're not going to be at a numbers disadvantage before you try to take an objective that's going to hurt you, like a dragon will. So we're kind of trying to burst it down, but you can see their entire team is rotating down onto us. Annie's trying to get there in time. And even though we secure the dragon, it's a 3v4 right now. Deal a lot of damage to Fizz, but he's able to escape just barely. I'm completely caught out, so I'm definitely gonna die. So yeah, so that was definitely a poor call. So the correct call would have been set up for dragon. That's a fine call. So you set up for dragon, you get Scuttle Crab control so that you've got a way to escape, you've got that movement speed to escape. You clear out the wards, you sweep that bush, you put a pink down, something, to clear out the wards while Annie is rotating back. That gives her enough time to get in position to assist us, so that if they try to fight us, it's a 4v4 as opposed to a 3v4. That would have been the correct call. So there's no need to rush a dragon unless you just killed, like you just got like a double kill or something like that. That would be the only time that you would want to rush dragon. Otherwise, you'd want to set it up, get vision control, deny their vision. But since they're all bot, this is going to allow Singe to push top a bit. Get some damage down on that top tower. And Singe is finally catching up. He's only now actually he's the same level as Vladimir now. So he was like 2 levels behind. So it's kind of a little bit of a lull. Vladimir's continuing to push. Singe backs right on top of a ward. So I think Singe could have backed a bit sooner here, because Vlad pushed that wave from here all the way back to his tower, and Singe really didn't do anything because he didn't want to fight Vlad. So now his turret's taking damage, and if he just backed sooner, turret would not have taken that damage. Vayne and Lulu are continuing to push bot lane. So I expect that they're going to push up, so I ward right here. Vayne kind of just backs just in plain sight of everyone. So anytime something like that happens, you want to try and stop the back. So that's what I do. But I'm just a second too slow there. So yeah, if you see somebody backing, chances are they're probably shopping. Like they've already got the shop window opened up. So it's usually pretty easy to land a skill shot and stop their back. So I rotate to gank Morgana. Yeah, I'll back that up. I'm rotating up to gank Morgana. But Annie's not going to really need my help in this case. She gets her Tibbers, Lancer, combo, and kills Morgana before I even get up there. Alright. So let's watch Fizz a little bit. Just watching Fizz. Watching Fizz. I mean, really? You're gonna try and gank a Singed. Yeah, so he comes out, kind of a desperate chum the waters there. He was waiting in that bush for like a minute. A whole frickin' minute, trying to gank a Singed. Who can just run away. Like, why? We're taking your mid tower, and you're in top in a bush. So yeah, not a strong play by their jungler. So we know that both Fizz and Vladimir are top. They really want this tower badly, and they're actually going to start taking tower shots trying to knock it down. Now Fizz and Vladimir are not known for their turret taking capabilities. So if you're going to try and dive a tower like that, you have to have somebody who can do damage to the tower. You can see how much they were full health, and now look at this. Vlad almost dies. Fizz is almost dead. Ashe lands a good arrow. And we get the kill. So I don't really know how to explain this play because the tower is still up, right? And we get one kill and Fizz executes. So I guess we should be lucky that they didn't both execute on the tower, but they just gave up. You know, they're both dead now. And the tower is still standing, and now we've got a huge advantage. So there's no need to try and tower dive this tower. This tower is going to go down eventually. Why would you give up kills to try and get that tower? And now we can push this wave top. And it's going to either force Vlad to TP, or he's going to possibly lose his top tower because of that. So you can see he comes up, and he immediately TPs, because he has to save this tower. So now Dragon is a minute 30 seconds away, and we've got teleport advantage. So we can continue to split push this, and if they try to engage on the Dragon, then we'll just have Singed teleport down, and Vlad can't respond. So this is pretty much going to set us up perfectly for Dragon. Vayne's pushing bot tower pretty hard though. This is a good job. Alright, this tower's gone. There's no way this tower's going to get saved, so Rengar should just back off, which he does. Lulu thinks they're safe because they've got wards here, but they just took the tower. So now they need to put a ward here in order to be safe in this push going after Rengar. So they try to go in for this kill on Rengar without having proper ward coverage. And now they're going to try and retreat back down the lane where Annie and Ashe already are. So there's no way they're going to escape this. I mean, between the stuns from Annie and the slows from Ashe, there's no way that you can escape back down this lane. Your only option is to come up here through the jungle and hope that your Morgana can rotate to you and your Fizz can rotate to you in time. So you see, pretty easy kill onto Lulu, then another easy kill onto Vayne. Easy day. So yeah, first mistake by them was not warding this bush. Second mistake was trying to escape this way rather than trying to escape up into the jungle. But Morgana's getting some damage on the tower at least. So I'm going to come up here, just barely miss my hook. And hey, look, they finally get that tower knocked down. 2 deaths later. So we're zoning Morgana out, and because Lulu and Vayne were already dead, this is pretty much going to be, free dragon for us, which is spawning in about 30 seconds. And then Singe is just trying to be annoying top lane because he just wants to keep Vladimir up here top. Almost missed a fight here. So Fizz is still hiding. He's still trying to make something happen for his team. But he's got no assistance. And he's spotted by the wolf spirit. So he goes in on Rengar, but he has no vision of where the rest of the team is. So Rengar didn't need to really engage on this. He could have played more defensively, and Ashe probably wouldn't have been needed to blow her ult. But we are able to get the kill. So if your team is almost there, try to delay rather than engage in the 1v1. So you can see that Singe is continuing to just push up. So Vlad's mid. So we're just going to force this tower top lane right as the dragon spawns. And Vlad's forced to respond, or we're going to take this top tower. So yeah, that becomes an easy dragon for us because their Fizz is down. There's no way that they can contest it. And you can see, like, this time, we actually use the sweepers, we actually clear out the wards. There's not much they can do to actually stop it. Good job by Singe, just basically making it so Vladimir couldn't rotate to dragon. Want to try and push multiple objectives when we can. So, alright. I get spotted by this ward. You can see that Vladimir immediately backs off. So that's definitely a good play by him. Had that ward coverage up because I was moving up to gank. You can see he comes back up. He wants to try and, engage on Singe and get even larger advantage. He tries to clear out this pink ward. So when you're clearing the pink ward, it's very obvious to the other team that you're clearing a pink ward. So if you're going to just keep auto-attacking it, auto-attack, move, auto-attack, move, auto-attack, move. That way you're not as predictable, just in case the enemy team tries to engage on you. Which is exactly what I'm going to do. So I land my hook, I come in, land my box. Even though he pops Ghost, there's no way that he's going to be able to escape. Alright, so now that Vlad's dead, and we have Lulu and Vayne in bot lane, and we actually also have vision on Fizz as well, we can pretty much just push top lane, not be too worried about it. Back up here. So, Rengar tries to back, but he's like right on top of the ward. So of course Fizz is going to go in on him. Lands his ult. This is a good ult by Rengar just to escape. Then Annie rotates down and almost immediately chunks out the Fizz. It's a good rotation by Annie to save Rengar. And Singe is able to get the top tower. So, alright. Now that you've pushed here, If you want to continue this split push, you have to have a ward here at the bare minimum, and you also probably want to have a ward here. That protects you for gank paths. But he doesn't have those wards down, and Morgana comes in to try and get the ult. So yeah, she lands like almost a point blank range Q, and then goes right into her ult. So there's really no way that even a Singe could escape that. So anytime you push past, you gotta have ward protection. So we know that Morgana's top lane because she just killed Singed. So Vayne and Lulu are kind of out of position. They're trying to clear out this pink ward. I'm gonna come up, miss my hook, unfortunately. But I land the exhaust on Vayne just so I can give my team time to rotate to them. Ashe lands her arrow, and then Vayne gets deleted by Annie. Alright, that was a great flash into the stun by Annie onto Vladimir because his whole team is trying to get away from this fight. I land my hook, which basically seals the deal on Vladimir. So we got a second kill off of that. You see, we're not going to be too aggressive. That was a nice little play. Lulu's trying to back and Rengar stops it. So we're trying to break down this mid lane, but Morgana's got enough wave clear with Fizz that there's no way we can break it or dive them really. So we're just going to back off. So decision then is to get Singe to split push top lane, and then to just push out bot lane so we can get them to work on multiple objectives. You can see, oh, look at this. He wards here. So yeah, he's learned from his mistakes. That's exactly what I like to see in game, right? You make a mistake, you're like, oh crap, I didn't have ward coverage, and then you come down and you ward, yeah, exactly where I said ward, that tri-bush and this little area right here. So now he's got great vision to be able to split push that entire time. And actually, yeah, he's going to go kill Scuttle Crab, so he has even more vision control. Oh yeah, good job. Good job realizing your mistake and correcting it. Alright, so coming up here, we see Vlad, Lulu, Morgana are all mid, Vayne's bot, so this is a green light for Singed to push as hard as he can, especially with his ward coverage now. He's got Scuttle Crab control and he's got great wards down. So he can just keep pushing really, really hard, and you can see they go, oh crap, and they immediately have to rotate back to stop it. So this is exactly what you want to do when you're playing a split push champion like Singe, is constantly make them have to run back and forth between lanes, just wasting their time, falling further and further behind in gold and experience. You see, as soon as they're seen by the ward, Singe starts to back off. And now we get to push mid lane. So now we push mid lane really hard. And they're going to go, oh crap, and they're going to have to rotate back to mid lane. So this is how you execute a split push strategy very well. I come down here to get ward coverage, but we see Vayne. Try to land my hook, but I miss it. So, arrow comes in. lands the ult. I thought that Vayne was going to try and flash over this wall. Like, that would have been the easy way to escape this, and she has her flash up. But instead she burns her heal. Very strange. Tries to engage, but, land my hook. Pretty easy kill for us. So yeah, if you're in this situation where you're in like a 1v2 or 1v3, just flash over the wall, try to escape. Enemy team is continuing to try and chase Singed. They've got 3 people top lane, which they really don't need, right? It's just a Singed. You only need 1 person really. And Dragon's going to be up in 30 seconds. So you can see this gives me free reign to just get tons of wards down in their red side jungle. So we have complete vision control. We also have scuttle crab control for this next dragon. So Singe is coming into his stride now and just doing exactly what he needs to do, which is just keep pressure on the other side of the map so we can keep getting dragons. So again, you can see Morgana rotates to try and gank, and Singe is already backing out because he's got the good ward coverage. And because Morgana shows top, we're like, alright, it's go time for dragon. There's no way that they can stop that. And I like that Annie was up here, like in a bush, just waiting for one of them to rotate so she could just pretty much, delete them with her abilities. So we just took dragon. The enemy team should have heard the sound, right? If you listen very carefully, you can hear when the other team gets dragon. And they're pushed way far out, and all they've got is 1 ward here and 1 ward here. So we're like, alright, we'll take these kills. It's pretty easy decision for us. So come in, land my hook onto the Vayne, and Vayne gets deleted. Flash into the arrow, kind of interesting. And maybe we get a second kill. So great rotational play, great job using ward coverage to basically not only take an objective but get kills out of it as well. So we're going to push out this bot lane, try to start pressuring their tier 2 towers. Meanwhile, Singed is trying to take a different objective. So we've got vision of their team here. So we're going to actually try and collapse. But Morgana comes in and we realize it's a 3v3. So we're going to try and back out. So even if you've got like a gold advantage, you don't want to fight the fair fight, right? If it's a 3v3, just why fight it? Why not wait till it's a 2v3 or a 1v3? Why not just try and just snowball your lead and more? Why give them a shot at coming back into the game? So this is good. Singe pushed out mid lane. Now he's going to go top lane and push that out and continue to exert cross map pressure. He's got to be careful though, because his one of his wards is timed out and his other ward's about halfway. So anyway, Vayne rotates up to try and clear. Alright, so let's take a look at this, Vlad. What just happened like a couple minutes ago to Vayne and Lulu in bot lane? They are pushing out without ward coverage, and our team ganks them and kills them. What's Vlad doing right now? He's pushing out this lane really far away from his tower with no ward coverage. So this is kind of deja vu. Same lane, different person. Alright, so again, Rengar did not anticipate Vlad using his pool. Kind of a good zone use by Vlad, but he's going to die. He burned his ult, but we're able to kill him. So Rengar, you need to do a better job of anticipating what the enemy team is going to do to try and counter you. So we've got while that's going on, we're getting the kill onto Vladimir. We catch Lulu out, so we kind of rotate to kill Lulu, and we think we've got pretty good ward coverage here, right? We got 2 wards. We see the Vayne coming, so we still think it's a 2v3. So we're gonna try and engage on this. So Ashe misses her arrow onto Lulu, but hits Vayne. So alright, that's fine. We'll take that, hit onto Vayne instead. Lulu's backed off, so yeah, we're gonna change targets to Vayne right away. But then Morgana comes in, and now it's a 3v3. Remember what I was talking about earlier about you don't want to fight the fair fights. So Morgana does a really great job getting onto Ashe, and we're trying to get Vayne, but she's doing a really good job kiting us. So Ashe is forced to flash, and they're able to get the kill. So as soon as Ashe dies, we have like no damage on our team up here, and it's now a 2v3. So we've got to back out. We've got to get away from this. But Singe kind of goes for that low health Vayne, trying to get the kill. But you can see how well Vayne's able to kite us. Yeah, so very good kiting by Vayne. She's able to get the kill, so I back out. So yeah, that's why you don't want to fight the fair fight. You don't want to fight a 3v3 because you can lose it. Even if you're ahead in gold, you can still lose that 3v3. But it's much less risky if you're fighting a 2v3 or 1v3. I still think that was a good play by us, right? We caught them out. We thought we had good ward coverage. They just did a really good rotation. So. Alright, so we land a great hook onto Lulu here. And she just disappears. I don't know where Lulu went. And it might taste like purple, but it sure smells like burning over there. And then here. Then Lulu's gonna come down here and she's gonna have some more fun. So yeah, it just gets deleted. I don't know what happened. And then Annie comes down, flashes in, and pretty much deletes Vayne as well. So now it's a 5v3. And anytime you're in like a 5v3 scenario where you're like level 15 or so, Baron's usually the right call, right? So we're going to be looking to try and take a Baron. Especially since their ADC is down. If you get the jungler too, that's also a really great time to go for Baron. But this is, they know we're going for this. And we're taking a lot of damage. We're taking actually like way more damage than I anticipated from this. And actually our Rengar has to back off. I'm pretty low health. So yeah, things are not going well for us. This Baron does a lot of damage to us, more than we anticipate. And Annie almost kills Vladimir, but then he gets jumped by Morgana as well. So now it's a 1v2 for Annie. And even though we're able to get the kill onto Vladimir, Annie dies. And then backing up, you can see Rengar's low health, I'm low health, Ashe is at full health, but she gets hit with the fizzle and gets chunked out pretty well. So he comes in, he's able to get the kill on me. So it winds up being a 2 for 2. But yeah, that's not what we want, right? I mean, I still think that most of the time it's the right decision to go for a Baron if you have like a 5v3 scenario. But I think we just did a poor job fighting that battle. We could have probably gotten 3 kills for 0 if we had both been attacking this. If we'd all been attacking the same target. So we're still in a good spot, right? We're about looks like 7K up, 6.5. So yeah, so that was a good bait actually by Sin. Just trying to get Vayne to come forward so I could land my hook, especially with Annie around. So we see that Vayne and Lulu are trying to go towards bot lane. But we've got Morgana here, and we know that Vlad is top. So we're going to go for Morgana. This is a really cool interaction. So I land my hook onto Morgana while she has her shield up, and you can see that it doesn't deal damage to her or pull her towards me, but I'm still able to pull myself in to Morgana. So that's, I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm going to rewind that just because this is one of my favorite interactions in the game. So I come in, go to throw my hook, Morgana shields, my hook lands, but she doesn't get pulled by it. But I can still pull myself towards her. So yeah. She flashes, but Annie just deals so much damage. Rengar goes invisible. I flash to get my box, and she immediately Zonias. Rengar does not anticipate the Zonias, so he misses his bola. Use my exhaust just so we can get the kill. You can see that I backed off immediately. I land that hook just so Rengar can get the kill. You always want to try and get the kill on somebody who can carry for you. So Fizz tried to catch out Ashe there, but Ashe did a good job stopping him. So you can see Fizz goes in, Ashe does a good use of her arrow and is able to kill him. So good job by Ashe getting that solo kill. So we just saw them both top lane. So we're just going to rotate to Dragon, right? It's a 5v3 scenario. Last time we did a 5v3 and at Baron it didn't work out, but this time we're doing a 5v3 at Dragon, which is much easier. I have no idea why Vlad is trying to teleport in. His team is so far away from him here. So he teleports into a 1v3, never a good decision. Vayne comes down, tumbles. It's actually really impressive because she didn't even have that area warded. But you see we're trying to peel for Ashe as much as possible. Rengar's on the dragon. He's going to get the smite on it. That was actually really good by Vayne to knock Rengar away from Vlad to try and keep him alive a little bit longer. But he is going to go down. So Annie comes in. Good job by Vayne to use her ult to try and escape. And Annie's going to go in on Vayne while the rest of us are going to go in on Lulu. There's pretty much no escape for Lulu at this point. But I like that Annie's continuing to go for the carry. Try and get that kill on the Vayne. She uses her heal. Yeah, it was poor anticipation by Thresh, both me, Thresh, and Rengar. We're able to get the kill on the Vayne as well. So, 2 of their teammates were down, and we're able to pick up the other 3 for a 3-for-0. So you never want to try and fight a dragon when you're behind. Because not only did we get the dragon, now we're at 4 dragons, we got 3 kills out of it. So that really opens up the map for us. So Fizz comes into a 1v3 again, tries to get the kill, and they actually surrender at this point. So that was a pretty pretty easy game for us, but I'm going to go over the good and bad for each person. So for our top laner, you knew that you're going into a bad lane matchup, right? Going up against a Vladimir when you're a Singe is just going to be really difficult. But you still went Dorian's Ring, right? And I brought that point up a little bit earlier. Flash would have been a much better decision for this matchup. You would have been able to get more CS. You would have been able to trade better with Vladimir, and you wouldn't have fallen further behind. And then the first time that Rengar ganked top lane, you definitely should have backed off, and I think you learned from that mistake later on in the game. But you gave a kill back to Vladimir. And then the final mistake was after you got top tower, you pushed up without ward coverage, and Morgana was able to kill you. So what you did good though is anytime you made a mistake, you learned from it, you corrected it like mid game. Like when you made the mistake of going in with on Vlad when you were low health, you corrected that mistake the next time when Annie came up to gank and you survived. Also, after you got ganked top lane because you didn't have ward coverage, the next time you tried to push out top lane, you had ward coverage there. So that was perfect. Like you learned from your mistakes, like in game, and that's exactly what people like to see. And then the other thing that you did really well was you identified that you were at a lane disadvantage, and even though I think you picked up the wrong starting item, you played really smartly and prevented Vlad from snowballing and prevented yourself from falling too far behind. Because you look at the end of the game, you had more CS than him, you had a better score than him, so even though he just crushed you in the early game, you played very smartly, you didn't fall too far behind, you kept yourself relevant, and you slowly got yourself back into the game. For our jungler, my biggest complaint is that your skill shot accuracy was really, really low. You need to have a better job at anticipating when the other players are going to use their abilities, how they're going to move, and not go for such like long range bolas. Because multiple times you miss your bola because you were either too far away, or the enemy zoned you, or the enemy used an ability like Pool or Playful Trickster out of it. You need to anticipate that stuff. And the other problem with your Rengar play was you hardly ever used his passive to leap onto enemies. You can use your passive for more than just your ult. And if you use those bushes to your advantage a little bit more, I think you would have gotten one or more kills out of it. For our mid, it's kind of tough to complain. I mean, you pretty much dominated. You were 14-3-6. But the one thing that I'm going to hit you on is that you didn't upgrade your trinket until we were 28 minutes into the game, and you were level 15. So, yeah, we always want you upgrade your trinket by the end of the game, but if you're level 9, everybody on the team should be upgrading their trinket at level 9. So, my plug for upgrading trinkets, why we want to upgrade at level 9 is not only does it give you an extra ward, but it also makes your wards last a minute longer, which is crucial to that vision coverage in that mid to late game. Right, when you get those wards in the enemy jungle, having that extra minute really helps. What you did good, you have unbelievable map awareness and just great roaming. Like that, you did a fantastic job. Like anytime they gave us an opportunity to gank them, you were there, ready to go, and that was just great. Most of your kills came off of just superior map awareness and constant roaming. So other people in the team can look at that map awareness, and learn from him because he does it really, really well. For ADC, you got a lot of help this game, and yet you're still way behind in CS. So you need to work on getting your CS numbers up. You were pretty much behind that entire game against the Vayne. So And yeah, and we were dominating in bot lane. Like we constantly were killing them, and you're still behind in CS, and that's a sign that you just need to work on your last hitting better. For what you did good, you made great use of your ult. You pretty much always hit with your ult. I think you maybe missed your intended target once or twice, but you did a great job just getting that ult in, getting that initiation down, and then going in to secure the kill. For my mistakes, I made the poor decision to go for Dragon when Annie was top lane. Um, we could have just delayed and worked on vision coverage and whatnot rather than just like immediately going for the Dragon. And then going for that Baron in that 3v5 situation, I still think it was a good call to go for the Baron. I just think that when they engaged on us, I didn't do a good job shot calling to try and call out who we should focus. For what I did well, I landed the large majority of my hook, and I kept up vision pretty much the entire game in their red side jungle. So that's what I was very happy about. So for the team as a whole, what we did poorly was we lost the early game, like hard. Like the only person who won the CS war was mid lane. Our bot lane lost in CS, our top lane lost in CS, and we got really lucky that their Fizz did not have an impactful early game. If their Fizz had been a better jungler and had punished us more, we probably would not have been able to cover from that bad of an early game. However, on the flip side, we had awesome ward coverage. Just awesome ward coverage. Had wards all over the map, and that allowed us to collapse on enemies and get just pick after pick after pick, which allowed us to snowball and win that mid game, win that late game, even though we had a poor start in the early game. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you learned something from it. This is Randomonium, signing off.